He stood in the last row, hands trembling, eyes locked on the stage where she was about to change her life forever. And when she finally spoke, when the world waited for her to thank the people who helped her get there, she smiled. She thanked everyone. Everyone, except him. The beginning of us. Before the lights, before the fame, before the applause. There was just them. Her name was Aisha. And to Daniel, she wasn't just someone he loved. She was everything he believed in. They met in a small, crowded cafe where dreams were bigger than the paychecks. Aisha worked there part-time, scribbling lyrics between orders, humming melodies no one really listened to. Except Daniel. He noticed everything. The way her eyes lit up when she talked about music. The way she closed her eyes when she sang softly to herself. The way she apologized for dreaming too big. "You shouldn't say sorry for that," Daniel told her one night. "For what?" she smiled. "For wanting more." That was the first time she looked at him differently. And maybe that was the moment he gave his life away. The dream that was hers, but became his. Aisha didn't have much. No connections. No money. No support. Just a voice, and a dream that scared her as much as it excited her. Daniel, on the other hand, had something simple, stable. A steady job. A small apartment. A predictable life. But the moment he chose her, none of that mattered anymore. "You're going to make it," he said. She laughed. "People like me don't make it." "Then we'll prove them wrong." "Not you. We." And that word slowly became his biggest mistake. The first sacrifice. It started small. Driving her to auditions. Waiting outside for hours. Encouraging her after every rejection. "You were amazing," he would say. Even when she wasn't. Even when they both knew the truth. Then came the bigger sacrifices. Daniel started taking extra shifts. Just to pay for her studio time. He skipped meals. So she could afford better equipment. He sold his watch, the one his father gave him, to fund her first proper recording. "You didn't have to do that," she said softly. "I wanted to," he smiled. And he meant it. Every single time. Slowly. She started rising. Months turned into a year. And things began to change. Aisha's voice, her music, her confidence. People started noticing. A small gig turned into a bigger one. A small crowd turned into applause. And Daniel? He was always there. Clapping the loudest. Smiling the widest. Even when he was exhausted. Even when life was quietly breaking him. "You're getting there," he whispered one night after her performance. She hugged him tightly. "I couldn't do this without you." Those words. They meant everything to him. But he didn't know. One day, they would mean nothing to her. The distance no one talks about. Success doesn't arrive loudly. It creeps in, quietly. Changing things before you even notice. Aisha got busier. More calls. More meetings. More people around her. Important people. People who wore expensive clothes. Who talked about opportunities and branding and image. Daniel didn't understand that world. He didn't belong in it. And slowly, he started to feel it. "You should come tonight," he said once. "I can't, it's a networking event." "You wouldn't like it." Wouldn't like it. Or wouldn't belong? He didn't ask. He never did. Because loving her meant not making things harder for her. The silent change. It wasn't one big moment. It was 100 small ones. She stopped calling as often. Stopped sharing everything. stopped needing him the way she used to. But Daniel. He stayed the same. Still showing up. Still supporting. Still believing. Even when something deep inside him whispered, "You're losing her." One night, he finally asked, "Are we okay?" Aisha paused. "Of course we are, why wouldn't we be?" He forced a smile. No reason. But there was a reason. He just didn't want to hear it. The big break. Then it happened. The moment they had both been waiting for. Aisha got selected for a major live performance. A stage that could change everything. "This is it," she cried, tears in her eyes. Daniel hugged her like it was his own victory. Because in his heart, it was. "We did it," he whispered. But this time, she didn't repeat the word "we." The final sacrifice. The performance was huge. Important people. Media. A chance at real fame. But there was a problem. She needed more preparation, more styling, more investment. And Daniel? He had nothing left to give. Except one thing. His job. He quit. Took all his savings. Every last bit of it. And handed it to her. "For your big night," he said. Her eyes filled with tears. "I'll make you proud." He smiled. "You already have." But deep inside, something broke. Because for the first time, he had given everything. Fire. The night arrived. Lights. Crowds. Cameras. Aisha stood backstage, ready to step into her dream. Daniel stood far away, in the shadows. Wearing his only suit. Watching the woman he loved become someone the world would love. And as her name echoed across the stage, he whispered to himself, "Just say my name, once." The night that changed everything. The lights dimmed. The crowd fell silent. And then, her name was called. Aisha Khan. The entire hall erupted in applause. Daniel felt his chest tighten, his eyes filled with tears as he watched her walk onto the stage. Graceful. Confident. Radiant. She looked unstoppable. "That's her," he thought. "That's the girl I believed in." The moment he waited for. Aisha reached the microphone. She took a deep breath, scanning the crowd. For a brief second, her eyes passed over him. Daniel's heart stopped. "She saw me." He straightened his posture, wiped his tears quickly, almost like a child waiting to be acknowledged. This was it. This was the moment. All those nights, all those sacrifices, all the silent struggles. They were about to mean something. Her speech. "Thank you." She began, her voice soft but steady. "I don't even know where to start." The audience leaned in. "I want to thank my mentors, my team, everyone who believed in me." Daniel smiled. "She's nervous," he thought. "She'll get there." "I want to thank the people who guided me, who helped shape me into who I am today." His hands trembled. His name sat on the edge of her lips. Or at least, he thought it did. The silence that screamed. She kept going. More names. More smiles. More gratitude. But not his. Daniel's smile slowly faded. "Maybe she's saving me for last," he told himself. "Maybe. I'm the most important one." So he waited. And waited. And waited. Until. "Thank you all for being part of my journey." The speech ended. The crowd exploded into applause. The exact moment he broke. Daniel didn't clap. He couldn't. Because in that moment, He realized something he had been avoiding for a long time. He wasn't forgotten by accident. He was left out, on purpose. The noise around him faded. The applause sounded distant. Hollow. Like a world he no longer belonged to. His chest felt heavy. Not with anger. Not with jealousy. But with something far worse. Emptiness. Flashbacks that hurt more than reality. As he stood there, frozen, memories flooded his mind. Her voice saying, "I couldn't do this without you." Her tears when he sold his watch. Her smile when he handed her his savings. Her hugs, her promises. Every single moment replayed in his mind like a cruel reminder. Because now he understood. Those moments meant everything to him. But to her? They were just steps. The walk away. The event ended. People rushed toward her. Congratulations. Cameras. Laughter. She was surrounded. Celebrated. Admired. And Daniel? He turned around, quietly. And walked away. No goodbye. No confrontation. No scene. Because deep down, he knew something she didn't. If he had to remind her of his importance, then he never really had any. The message he never sent. That night, he sat alone in his apartment. The same apartment that once felt full of dreams. Now it just felt empty. He picked up his phone. Typed a message. "I was there tonight." He stared at it. Then deleted it. Typed again. "I'm proud of you." Deleted. Finally, he locked his phone. Because some words lose their meaning when they're not felt. Her world versus his reality. Aisha's life exploded overnight. Interviews. Social media. Fame. Her speech went viral. People called her inspiring. Self-made. A rising star. Daniel watched it all, silently. Every clip. Every post. Every comment praising her journey. A journey he was never mentioned in. It wasn't anger that hurt him. It was the realization that the world believed she did it alone. The truth he finally faced. Days passed. Then weeks. She didn't call. Didn't text. Didn't notice his absence. And that was the final truth. You don't lose people suddenly. You lose them slowly. Until one day you realize you were the only one holding on. Fire. One night, Daniel stood in front of the mirror. Tired. Broken. Empty. And for the first time, he asked himself a question he had been avoiding. What about me? Not her dreams. Not her success. Not her happiness. Him. And that night, something changed. Because sometimes, the person you lose is yourself.